Inquire and Inspire, Episode 21, Love Notes and Serenity, Unlocking the Heart of Lasting Relationships, hosted by Jasmine Velasco with special guest, Professor Luna Bright. Today's episode takes us deep into the language of love, not just spoken, but written. From the timeless charm of handwritten notes to the science behind emotional bonding, discover why love notes still matter. So sit back, tune in, and let the heart do the talking.
Professor Bright, that was an absolutely fascinating lecture. I especially found your insights on communication incredibly valuable.
Thank you, Jasmine. I'm glad you found it helpful. Is there something specific you wanted to discuss?
Yes, actually. You touched on the power of small gestures, and it got me thinking about love notes. How exactly can something like love notes between partners grow and develop their relationship into possible marriage or a relationship of commitment and understanding? I have a few specific questions, if you don't mind.
Of course, Jasmine, I have a few minutes. Fire away.
Wonderful. My first set of questions revolve around the essence of connection. Could you elaborate on love, true love, what is love? Love advice, falling in love, and unconditional love. And related to that, how do we know if it's true love, or what are the signs of real love in a relationship? Can love last forever?
Excellent questions, Jasmine. Love notes are indeed a tangible expression of many of these concepts. At its core, love is a complex emotion characterized by deep affection, care, and a sense of connection. True love often implies a profound, enduring bond that withstands challenges and fosters mutual growth. When we talk about what is love, it's important to recognize its multifaceted nature. It's not just a feeling, but a choice, an action, and a commitment. Love notes in this context are micro-commitments, tiny affirmations that reiterate that choice. Falling in love is often the initial, exhilarating phase, driven by strong attraction and idealization. However, unconditional love goes beyond that initial spark, embracing a partner's flaws and imperfections with acceptance and unwavering support. Signs of real love or true love in a relationship include mutual respect, open communication, shared values, emotional intimacy, and a genuine desire for the other person's well-being. Love notes contribute to this by creating a consistent thread of appreciation and affection. While the intensity of initial falling in love may evolve, love itself can absolutely last forever when nurtured through consistent effort, understanding, and intentional acts of connection, like those small, handwritten messages.
That makes a lot of sense. So, moving on, how do relationships generally, and more specifically dating, couples, communication, healthy relationships, and relationship advice play into this? And how can love notes help in building a healthy relationship and improving communication? Also, could you touch on the 5 love languages and dealing with jealousy?
Relationships are dynamic systems requiring continuous effort and understanding from both partners. Dating is the initial phase of exploring compatibility and building a foundation, and it's where love notes can start to establish a positive pattern of expressing affection. For couples, ongoing effort in communication is paramount. Love notes serve as a powerful, non-confrontational form of communication. They can convey appreciation, apologize, express desires, or simply remind a partner they are loved and thought of. This kind of consistent positive reinforcement is crucial for building a healthy relationship. Improving communication in relationships isn't just about grand conversations. It's also about daily affirmations and small gestures. Love notes specifically cater to the words of affirmation love language, but they can also be an act of service, if you leave them where your partner will find them, or a form of receiving gifts, the note itself. They are a gentle way to address dealing with jealousy by reaffirming commitment and affection, providing a tangible reminder of your bond. Consistent positive input, like love notes, can proactively address insecurities before they escalate, fostering trust and security.
That's fascinating how a simple note can touch on so many aspects. Now, I'm curious about the more challenging side. Can a toxic relationship be fixed even if only one partner writes love notes? And what about casual dating versus aiming for commitment? Also, what's the second base meaning in a relationship from a more metaphorical perspective? I also saw parasocial relationships as a related term, which seems like the opposite of intimate connection.
That's a crucial distinction, Jasmine. While love notes are incredibly powerful in healthy relationships, they alone cannot fix a toxic relationship, especially if only one partner is putting in the effort. A toxic relationship is characterized by patterns of disrespect, control, manipulation, or abuse. These issues require fundamental changes in behavior, often professional intervention, and genuine commitment from both parties to address the root causes. A love note in a toxic dynamic might temporarily soothe, but it won't dismantle the underlying harmful patterns. It might even be used as a manipulative tool. True repair demands accountability, empathy, and consistent behavioral change, not just gestures. Regarding casual dating versus commitment, love notes are a clear signal of intention. In casual dating, the focus is often on light-hearted enjoyment without expectations of long-term commitment. Love notes, by their very nature of expressing deeper affection and thought, generally signal a desire for something more, a move towards intimacy and commitment. If one partner starts leaving love notes in a casual arrangement, it often means they are seeking to evolve the relationship into something more serious, perhaps exploring what we call second base meaning in a relationship metaphorically. Not just physical intimacy, but a deeper emotional connection, a shared understanding, and a mutual progression towards a more defined partnership. This stands in stark contrast to parasocial relationships, which are one-sided imaginary bonds with public figures where there's no actual reciprocal interaction. Love notes are all about fostering reciprocal, genuine intimacy.
That clarifies a lot. So, how do first love, first crush, and young love factor in, and does first love last? Also, getting over your first love and the impact of first love on future relationships seem important.
First love, first crush, and young love are formative experiences that profoundly shape our understanding of romantic connection. They are often characterized by intense emotions, a sense of novelty, and a steep learning curve in navigating intimacy. While the direct relationship from a first love may not last in its original form, its impact is undeniable. The lessons learned, the joy experienced, and even the pain of first heartbreak contribute significantly to our emotional landscape. Getting over your first love can be challenging because it's often linked to a period of intense personal growth and discovery. However, the experience provides valuable insights into our preferences, boundaries, and what we seek in a partner. The impact of first love on future relationships can be both positive and negative. It can set a foundation for healthy connection, but it can also create unrealistic expectations or ingrained patterns. Understanding and processing these early experiences allows us to build more mature and resilient relationships in the future, where small acts like love notes can reinforce the positive lessons learned about expressing affection and commitment.
And finally, how does all this lead to marriage or a lifelong commitment? What's the role of love notes in married life, marriage advice, and building a happy marriage? Also, premarital counseling and what to expect in the first year of marriage come to mind.
The journey from initial attraction to marriage or a lifelong commitment is a gradual process of deepening connection, shared experiences, and mutual investment. Love notes, from the dating phase through married life, act as consistent affirmations of that journey and investment. They are not just fleeting sentiments, but tangible reminders of shared affection, appreciation, and the choice to continue building a life together. In a marriage, love notes become a powerful tool for maintaining emotional intimacy, especially during busy periods or when direct communication might be challenging. They offer moments of connection, reminding partners of their bond and reigniting the spark. As part of marriage advice, I often recommend couples continue these small gestures. They contribute significantly to a happy marriage by fostering a sense of being seen, loved, and valued. During premarital counseling, discussions about communication styles and expectations are paramount, and incorporating habits like writing love notes can be a practical strategy to implement. The first year of marriage is often a period of adjustment and learning to navigate daily life as a married couple. Love notes can serve as a comforting anchor during this time, providing consistent reassurance and strengthening the emotional foundation that will carry the couple through the inevitable challenges and joys of a lifelong commitment. They are a continuous whisper of, "I choose you still."
Professor Bright, this has been incredibly insightful. Thank you so much for your time and for sharing your wisdom. I have a much clearer understanding now.
You're very welcome, Jasmine. Keep those questions coming. It's how we all learn and grow, and remember, the smallest gestures often carry the greatest weight in matters of the heart.
You've been listening to Inquire and Inspire, where heartfelt voices spark deeper understanding. A special thanks to Professor Luna Bright for her continued dedication to helping us build stronger, more meaningful relationships. To be featured or have your questions answered on future episodes, don't forget to call in. Your story matters. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and always inquire and inspire.